Educate people. Don't let them go and be buying Helio G37 phones or Unisoc SC9836A phones for 150k. No. Hello and welcome to another video. As usual, my name is Jeffrey. This is the Inquisitive Universe and we do smartphones here. So today I want to talk about the top 10 phones that you can get for 150,000 naira. Now this is not the first time I've done a video like this before. Earlier this year I did a video like this, top 10 phones that you can get for 150k, much earlier this year, and inflation has destroyed that video. Basically the video is obsolete, so that's why I am back here to do another one, at least to keep up with the current times. Who knows, maybe by the end of this year this video would have been obsolete too, but for now these are the top 10 phones you can get for 150k. Now I'm going to do a bit of explanation because some people they've told me before, Jeffrey, you do the explain for your videos, but I have to explain, I have to give context to my videos. If you know you can't take 30 seconds or 1 minute to listen to context, please fast forward. You know, there will be timestamps. Just fast forward to number 10 phone. But I need to say this, next 30 seconds I need to say this, very important, that the what's it called now, basically let's just put it like this, 150k is the new 100k because of inflation. So you see all those phones that I used to buy for 150k once upon a time, you can only get them at 200k now. And those phones that I used to buy 100k once upon a time are the phones that are now in the 150k territory. Unfortunately, that's how things are now. So if you want to buy a phone that is worth its salt, any decent phone at all, that this phone is decent, you have to have at least 150k, unless you're going to be buying entry-level phones. Like if you have 100k, entry-level phones, 100 to 120, 130, you'll be buying entry-level phones, you know, Redmi A3, A3X, and the like. So that's just it. So let me not waste any further time. Let's go to number 10 phone. The top 10 is going to be kicked off with the Vivo Y03. Yeah, the Vivo Y03. Vivo is not a very popular brand around here, sure, but they are here, they are around, and they've got phones here. So we'll start with the Vivo Y03. It's powered by Helio G85. For software, it's got Android 14 and a Phone Touch 14 OS. And then you go to the display, you see a 6.56 inch 720p LCD that runs at 90 Hz. Then for the cameras, it's got a 13MP camera, that's 13 megapixels at the back, and then a 5MP selfie at the front. 13MP in 2024. That's why it's at the bottom of the list anyway. 1080p video at 30 fps. There's a 5000 mAh battery, and there's, of course, this battery charges at 15 watts of fast charge. So if you want to pick this up, it's going to cost you 150k for the 4GB RAM, 128GB storage variant. So moving on, we're going to go to the next one. It's also another Vivo phone, the Vivo Y17s. This one is also powered by a Helio G85, but this one is got the older Android 13 because it's from last year. The Android 13 is running with Phone Touch 13, also from last year. Then it's got a 6.56 inch 720p LCD that runs at 60 Hz, right? Now, the only reason why this phone, the Vivo Y17s, comes ahead of its cousin, the Vivo Y03, is because it's got a better 50 megapixel main camera, an 8 megapixel selfie, which will then give you better video of 1080p at 30 fps. This one has also got a 5000 mAh battery that charges at 15 watts. How much is it going to cost you for the 4GB RAM, 128GB storage? It's going to cost around 145k. That's mostly that. Let's move on. Let's get on to number 8, and number 8 is the Itel P55 Plus. Yeah, Itel has been improving these days, although there's still some stuff that they need to do better, but you know how it is. We'll praise them when necessary, we'll criticize them when necessary. The Itel P55 Plus is also another decent phone. It's got a Unisoc T606 SoC. It's got Android 13, Itel OS 13, a 6.6 inch 720p LCD display that runs at 90 Hz. There is, of course, a 50 megapixel main camera here, an 8MP selfie, 1080p video at 30 fps, 5000 mAh battery, and 45 watts of fast charge. This one is going to cost you around 142, 143k, depending on what happens with inflation and what happens in the economy next up. So yeah, let's go on to number 7. 7 is the Infinix Hot 40i, also another very decent smartphone. This one is also powered by just like the Itel P55 Plus, also powered by Unisoc T606 SoC. It's got Android 13 with XOS 13, a 6.56 inch 720p LCD display that runs at 90 Hz. There's of course a 50 megapixel main camera here, which should be the standard at this level, and an impressive 32 megapixel selfie. So I'm going to give Infinix kudos for this one. So well done, Transsion, you guys are doing well. There's 1080p video here, 5000 mAh battery, and of course 18 watts of fast charge. Now, how much is this one going to cost you? It's going to cost you roughly 145k for the 4GB RAM 128GB variant. That's for the Infinix Hot 40i. So let's go back, let's move on to number 6, but we're going to be going back to an older device, and this one is going to be the Redmi 12C. Yes, the Redmi 12C is still capable of dealing with modern phones from this era. Absolutely, because it's powered by the Helio G85. It runs on Android 12, which is a bit dated now, MIUI 13. It's got a 6.71 inch 720p LCD display, no 90 Hz here, all you get is 60 Hz, 50 megapixel main camera, 5 megapixel selfie, which is a bit of a letdown, 1080p video at 30 fps, 5000 mAh battery. There is no fast charge here, all you get is 10 watts of charge, and this was going to cost you around 120k depending on where you get it from, but it's going to be roughly around that amount for the 4GB RAM 128GB variant. This phone was originally around 80k. So see what inflation has done. Let's move on. Let's get on to number 5, and that's the successor to the Redmi 12, which is the Redmi 12C, which is Redmi 13C. So this one is also powered by Helio G85, Android 13, MIUI 13. That's for the software. 6.74 inch 720p LCD display at 90 Hz. So that's one of the few improvements you're going to see there. 50 megapixel main camera, 8MP selfie, another slight improvement there. 1080p video at 30 fps, a 5000 mAh and an 18 watts fast charge support. So how much is the Redmi 13C going to cost you? Around 153,000. So it's going to cost roughly 30,000 naira more than its predecessor. Both of them offer the same performance and roughly the same camera output. So you want the modern phone or you want the older one? It's your choice. So let's move on. Let's get on to number 4, and number 4 is the Samsung Galaxy A05. Again, it's powered by the same Helio G85, Android 13, One UI. There's a 6.7 inch 720p LCD here, runs at 60 Hz, no 90 Hz here, and of course this one has got 50 megapixel main camera, 8 megapixel selfie, 1080p video, 5000 mAh battery, and 25 watts of fast charge. That's very decent here. So let's go on. This one is going to cost you around 100, and just prepare yourself and say 135k, right? For the 4GB RAM 128GB variant, depending on where you get it from, it's going to be roughly around that amount. So yeah, let's move on. Let's get on to the next one. Let's get on to number 3. It's the Tecno Spark 20. The Tecno Spark 20, it's also powered by the Helio G85. It runs on Android 13, iOS 13, which I'm not very fond of. It's got a 6.6 inch 720p LCD, runs at 90 Hz, 50 megapixel main camera, 32 megapixel selfie, 1080p video, 5000 mAh battery, and 18 watts of fast charge. This one's going to cost you roughly 150k for the 4GB RAM 128GB variant. So that's for number 3. Now let's move on. Let's get to number 2. Number 2 is not necessarily a single phone. These phones are actually a bit higher than the 150k, but they are also very decent phones. If you can fork out the extra money to get them, I think it would do you a bit of service here. And these two phones include the Redmi 12 and the Infinix Hot 30. They are around the 170k range, between 175, 177, depending on where you buy them from. They're also very decent phones with Helio G88, 50MP main camera, and 1080p displays, 18 watts of fast charge and all that, but they're a bit pricey above the level of this video, so that's why I'm just I'm giving them honorable mentions. So that would then take us to number 1, the best phone I believe that you can get for 150k. That's the Intel S24. Yes, it's powered by Helio G91. That's the first one. Secondly, it runs on Android 13, Intel OS 13, 6.6 inch 720p LCD, 90 Hz. 108 megapixel camera is the highlight of this device. 108 megapixel cameras. That's, you have to give Intel their flowers for this one. Although the selfie in front is, you know, the usual 8MP selfie. This one gives you 1080p video. I think some people have also said that there's 1440p video on this one, but I'm yet to personally handle it, so I don't really know. So there's a 5000 mAh battery on this one and 18 watts of fast charge. So this one is going to cost you roughly 140k, which for me is very impressive. If you can go and buy it now while stocks still last before inflation kicks in again, boy, you're doing well. You're doing well. Just get out and just go. So of all the phones that I've mentioned here, I know everything is not going to appeal to everybody, so I'm going to shorten it very quickly. If you are looking for a smartphone with a very fast charge, the Intel P55 Plus is the phone for you. But if you are looking for a phone with camera, the Intel S24 is the phone that you should be looking for. All of the other phones offer the same level of performance for gaming and camera support and the rest, so there's really no difference between most of them on this list. So either one, if you're not going for the one for the fast charger, you're not going for the Intel S24 for camera, then basically any phone here is going to be okay for you, depending on how much you have to spend. Yeah, so many people come and they say stuff like Jeffrey hates Transsion or Jeffrey hates certain companies. No, I just say things the way they are. Just because it doesn't fit a marketing brief doesn't mean that I hate them. I don't hate any company. Never have, never will. I always say things the way they are. Just because it doesn't favor your particular company doesn't mean that Jeffrey hates it. That's not how I've operated from my Naira land days till now. It's never been that way. And I always try to make sure that I am as fair and as objective as possible. My name is Jeffrey. Please, if you like this video, please make sure to like, subscribe, and share. Small actions like this that help channels like mine grow. Educate people. Don't let them go and be buying Helio G37 phones or Unisoc SC9836A phones for 150k. No, at this level you should be getting G85 or T606, G85 or T606 at the very least. 50MP cameras, 720p displays, and all that. At least 18 watts of fast charge. Yeah. So yeah, that's it. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, guys, and bye bye.